If you've been looking for a guide on the different steps for the creation of your beautiful children's book, then this video is for you. This will provide you with the best order of the 10 most important steps for the creation of a children's book. So no matter where we're currently at with the creation of our book, this is the video we will really want to pay attention to. Hi there, I'm Eevi, an award-winning children's author and ghostwriter over on eevijones.com and the creator of Children's Book University. I create videos specifically for children's authors, so be sure to subscribe so you don't miss my weekly videos. Lots of aspiring children's authors are completely overwhelmed when it comes to the creation of their children's book. So one of the main questions I receive all the time is where we should begin with the creation of our beautiful book. So that's exactly what this video is meant to help us with, a tried and true order that we will want to make sure to stick to. Having authored, co-written, and ghostwritten more than 60 children's books now, I always stick to the same order or sequence of steps. In my award-winning book, How to Self-Publish a Children's Book, the chapters are already laid out in the best order we should go about the creation of our children's book. So I wanted to make sure to also make a video on just that. And that's because knowing the individual steps that are involved in the book creation process are important. But the correct order is even more important because it makes things much easier and can actually end up saving us a lot of time, gray hair, and of course money. So we will really want to make sure not to skip any of these steps and not to jump ahead. And because I have so many videos on so many different steps already, and because I really wanted to make it as easy as possible for you, I created a virtual and clickable roadmap over on my site that every aspiring children's author can use no matter where they are currently at in their creation process. And this roadmap links directly to the most important videos for each of these steps over on YouTube. So make sure you use that map. I've added the link to it in the description below. That would be the link worth bookmarking because it will help us access everything in one single spot. So let's take a look at the 10 most important steps for the creation of a beautiful children's book in the best or most ideal order, all listed on our roadmap. Step 1 on our roadmap is all about the age group. I mentioned this so many times, but it's truly one of the most overlooked steps that so many aspiring children's authors miss simply because they don't know about its importance. If you are familiar with my book, How to Self-Publish a Children's Book, you know that this is something I always tell my readers, clients, and students. In fact, whenever I have my very first consultation with my one-on-one clients, this is always one of my very first questions. What age group is your story for? So many believe that their book is perfect for all ages. We authors love our stories, right? And we really do believe that every child would truly love and enjoy our book. But sadly, that's just not possible. If we are writing for everyone, we are truly writing for no one. It's really that simple. If we try to please the kids of all ages with one and the same story, we will end up pleasing no one. Childhood years are the years where little ones develop cognitively the most. So each stage requires a different structure and setup of our book. And so adapting to each stage and its cognitive ability is important if we want our book to be meaningful, educational, and fun. So determining the best age group for our book should always be our very first step or our first consideration when we are writing our children's book. So that's why that is the first step on our roadmap. Again, the link to it is in the description below. Step 2 on our roadmap is all about the actual writing of our beautiful story. Here we will want to make sure we are infusing our story with elements that will help it stand out and perhaps even speak to a broader audience. So the second step on our roadmap shares links to the most important videos for the actual writing of our story, including resources for stories that are written in rhyme and creative ways and techniques to begin and also to end our story. So that's the second step on our roadmap. Step 3 on our roadmap is all about the editing of our beautiful story, especially on how to go about finding a professional editor that has experience with editing children's books. But even before a professional editor takes a look, there are so many things we can do already to make our story the best it could possibly be, including paying special attention to how we begin each sentence, and then making our story more colorful by infusing it with creative ways on how we begin each of our sentences. So that's what we will find in the third step on our roadmap. Again, the link to that roadmap is in the description below. Step 4 on our roadmap is my favorite step of the entire creation process, and that is the illustrating of our beautiful story. Here, the first step should always be to figure out the best trim size for our story, because the chosen trim size will determine how big or small our illustrator would create our illustrations in. Because what we don't want is having to resize our illustrations when we realize that they don't fit our selected trim size later on. This step is also all about how and where to find an illustrator and how to go about protecting ourselves with the setting up of an illustrator agreement. So that's what we will find in the 4th step on our roadmap. The 5th step on our roadmap is all about the cover for our beautiful children's book. Here we will want to be in the know about all the different parts of our cover, so we know exactly what to pay attention to and how to create a truly professional cover sleeve. And besides the look of our cover, we also want to make sure we are putting together a powerful book description that holds all the key elements needed to let potential buyers know that our book is exactly what they have been looking for. And because each book needs an ISBN and an ISBN barcode on the cover, knowing everything there is to know about the International Standard Book Number is important for this step here as well. So that's what we will find in the 5th step on our roadmap. And again, each of these steps here are clickable links that take us directly to the most relevant and most helpful video. Step 6 on our roadmap is all about the fonts or typefaces we plan on using for our beautiful children's book. Every book uses fonts on the cover for things like the title, subtitle, and author name. And every book uses a font for the inside of the book, for the telling of the story itself. This in turn means that every author has to make a decision on what fonts to use for their book. Now, when it comes to fonts for a children's book, authors are often faced with this extra challenge because the font used for the interior part for a children's book often matters a lot more than it does for regular books. And that's because we will want to use fonts to express or bring across a certain feeling, whether that pertains to things like a certain mood or a certain age group that book is written for, or a certain look. And so that's what step 6 of our roadmap is all about. Step 7 of our roadmap is all about the front and back matter of our children's book, all the things and the pages before and after our actual story, whether that's our copyright page, our title page, or the about the author page, for example. Besides putting together the different front and back matter elements, this step also makes sure we are presenting them in the best and most effective order in our children's book. And so that's what step 7 of our roadmap is all about. Step 8 on our roadmap is a big and important one. It's all about the formatting of the different formats for our children's book, whether that's the paperback, hardcover, or ebook version. So it's essentially about putting our book together in all the different elements and files so that they can be submitted to publishing platforms like Amazon's KDP. That's the step many aspiring children's authors are often intimidated by the most. But let me assure you that once we know how to do it and how to prepare for it, it's really easy to do. And so that's what step 8 of our roadmap is all about. Step 9 on our roadmap is all about the publishing and launching of our beautiful children's book. That's when we finally get to share our book with the world. This includes getting all our ducks in a row so we have a truly successful launch, like finding the best categories and best keywords for our book, setting the best price for our book, and deciding on things like how we want to distribute our beautiful book. And so that's what step 9 of our roadmap is all about. Again, all that with clickable links to the most relevant videos. And finally, step 10 on our roadmap is all about the promoting and marketing of our newly published children's book. Once our initial launch period is over, there are so many things we can do to help our book reach little readers far and wide. We just have to know how. And so this step holds a number of things we can do and set up to achieve just that. And that's what step 10 of our roadmap is all about. So these are the 10 most important steps for the creation of our children's book in the best and most efficient chronological order. These steps are very similar to those I share within Children's Book University, my biggest and most extensive resource, which contains all the templates we would need, lots and lots of examples and case studies, and step-by-step video instructions to help us make each of these steps as easy and as fun as possible. For now, if you just need something to get started with and guide you, I have shared this roadmap in the description below. That way, everything is in one single spot for super easy access, and each of these steps is clickable and leads us to the most relevant YouTube video. When I first started creating resources for other fellow children's authors, I never knew that so many would actually be using them. So it's so exciting to see that so many are so encouraged and motivated to give this dream of writing their very own children's book a try. So I really hope that by putting this video roadmap together for you will help you so much. And if you would like to support me in any way, it would mean so much to me if you would like to purchase or review any of my own books. Please give this video a thumbs up and subscribe if you haven't yet. It always makes me so happy and really encourages me to keep making free videos for you just like this one. Here's to taking it one brave and inspired step at a time. Bye!